the throne. By your life televised, we're breaking every bone. Eternal insurgents, brace from the fall. Hitting it with HardWire. Hear the engine scream. Living fast and reckless, this is our metal dream. Riding on, never slowing me. In the spotlight we shine. A biker's brutal journey. This life is ours divine. With HardWire, the crowd screams our name. Chasing down the shadows, we're addicted to the fame. Chains rattling loud, the brotherhood's alive. Every episode turns up, we're here to survive. From dusk till dawn, we're the kingdom is brew. Hitting it with HardWire. Hear the engine scream. Living fast and reckless, this is our metal dream. Riding hard, never slowing me. In the spotlight we shine. A biker's brutal journey. This life is ours divine. On the edge of chaos, we embrace the feel. Hitting it with HardWire, we'll always be here.
Hey, welcome to Hitting It with HardWire. For some reason, I could not hear the intro music, and I didn't think it was working. I don't know what the deal is. Something's not set right. My computer made some updates or something, and whenever I tried to turn it on, the mic kept shutting off, and then when I played the intro, because I was running a little bit late, I couldn't hear the intro music playing. I could see it, but I couldn't hear it. Well, I don't know what the hell was going on. Thank you for coming. Good to see everybody. Got Barbie in here and Steve and Mike's here today. Got my typical, technical difficulties today. Seems like every day. Always something. You know how that goes. I don't know if the buttons are working. Technical difficulties! Yay! My lady bought KFC right before she come home there, and I didn't get a chance to eat any of it. I said, I gotta go on there, man. I'm out of luck. I guess I'll have to eat it later. Ooh, that's nasty. Scared me for a minute. I just seen you have a nasty rash, and I was like, uh-oh, what was you doing? Oh, man. Well, as the little preview of the this week's show said, I wanted to talk a little bit, at least a little bit, about Trump's picks, his nominees. I do not have a list handy. Matter of fact, maybe I can pull it up on this side. That's not going to let me do that way. What do you guys think of who he's picked so far? I know we had some chats and a little bit of chatting about Matt Gaetz and Mike's chat. A lot of people didn't like him, but that's no longer a concern. My guess is they was worried about more things coming out, and somebody's what what do you honestly, what do you expect? He spent all that time in the House of Representatives basically shaking things up and pissing people off, and you don't think that people he needed to confirm him was going to notice that? You're crazy. So they all said, "Well, you basically was a troublemaker over there, and uh, you know, wh- I'm not surprised. You know what I mean? That between his controversial things that he had going and all that, that I'm not surprised that happened. And that new woman that he picked was the Attorney General for Florida for like 9 years. Hey, American Uncensored, straight, SNS. Got a lot of us in here today. Thank you for coming. From what I understand, that Pam Bondi's got a lot of experience. She's a bit of a Trump loyalist, which I suppose is okay. It's good that he wants those kind of people in there. But yeah, she looks pretty good for a 59-year-old. She followed Trump around on the campaign. He seems to got a lot of his campaigners with him. The only one that they think they're going to have trouble getting through. Well, Barbie, I think that I tend to think most of these people will stick with him pretty good. That's what he's picking them for. Uh, if you look back at the people Biden picked, when they talk about people that are, you know, weird people or people that are unqualified, look at who he had. The man that thought she was a woman as the place where they're putting Robert Kennedy, the Human Services Secretary, Health and Human Services, and I don't remember what that other guy was in. That one that kept wearing lipstick and shaved his head bald and got caught stealing luggage. If you look at the cabinet picks Biden had, man, Trump's cabinet picks are so much better, like leaps and bounds beyond better than what Biden had picked, because he had the DEI house of a bunch of people who just couldn't do their job, that were just atrocious. I think he might have a little bit of trouble pushing Pete Hegseth through, but I think he's a good nomination. They was bitching about his chest tattoo being a cross and saying he might be a Christian nationalist, but I don't see a problem with that. What's if you look up nationalist? That's basically a person that's patriotic and wants to support their nation, and a Christian nationalist is just somebody who's Christian and nationalist. And if you say white, they throw that term around like it's something that's horrible. But if you look up the definition of it, it's not as bad as they try and make it sound. They make it sound like it's some kind of Nazi term, and it's not at all. I think from Pete's background, he would actually be a pretty good candidate. Uh, Robert Kennedy Jr. I don't know a whole heck of a lot about RFK other than he's done some crazy stuff, but hey, who hasn't? If you try to say I've never done any wild and crazy stuff, then I'm not sure I would want you in there, because you haven't really lived and you have no idea what's going on in the world. You don't know how to have fun. So I don't think I think that's a big minus in my opinion. Uh, RFK's lived a little, has done a little wild and crazy stuff. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, as long as he doesn't try to do any of that kind of stuff with, you know, his power and position, which I don't think he would. He could just as easily lose his job as he got it. Uh, I think Tulsi Gabbard's a fantastic pick. Uh, this Doge committee that with Ramaswamy and Elon Musk, I think first thing Trump needs to do is to make it official, to officially establish them as at least a temporary branch to give them some kind of power, because they're literally not going to have any power to do anything but suggest things, and that's, I don't like that. It's almost pointless. Straight jacket. Yeah, that's funny. I've liked Tulsi Gabbard for years. She's very intelligent woman. Uh, she's a veteran. She's got a fantastic record. And I still say that if there's any chance a woman could make it to president, she would be the most likely woman that could actually win. Come on, guys. Your Mrs. Lance here is getting a little put off by your. Oh, come on, no, Mrs. Lee, you can't. You have to expect that. You got to know a little bit of. You're married. You got to know a little bit about how men think. You guys. uh, I'm telling you, you guys are hilarious. It's like a comedy show in the chat. Yes. See, what I always said is a difference. Most men think the same. You were usually fairly simplistic. We think about the same types of things. The difference between men are the ones that act on some impulses and the ones that don't. Those are the differences between men. But most men think about the same things. But the Democrats are trying to say Tulsi Gabbard's some kind of a Russian plant and all that. But they're trying to come out with some of the things they said about Trump. And then the things they're trying to put every single one of his nominees, they're trying to attack and find something to lie and say that they are. It's really not a surprise at this point anymore. Please enlighten us, Biker News Canada. What is it? Do tell. Now you're risen my curiosity. Obviously, I don't know, or I wouldn't have said it. And I'm kind of curious, what's all this? I just seen on the news this morning about everybody, all these riots and stuff up there in Canada. I don't know what all that's about. Is any of that going on near you up there? An anal tongue dart. Uh, yeah, Biker News Canada. What are you behind on the news in your own country? Yeah, there's a bunch of riots and protests and all that going on up there in Canada. They had Trudeau talking about it, and some guy that I think wants to be the next guy to run against him was talking about it on the news this morning. And he made some good sense about getting liberals out of office in Canada. So, hopefully maybe you got some hope up there. Oh, they might be trying to keep it off the tube up there. So maybe not to rile up more people. I don't know. We can get up there. You can get our channels too, I think, don't you? Get a lot of our channels. Get a damn Fire Stick or a little computer and put Kodi on it and install one of them things. You can watch TV from anywhere. You can I could watch Canadian news. I could watch Mexican news if I could understand any of it. And them things are great. The only thing is they're a pain in the butt because you got to constantly keep updating them all the time. And a little disclaimer that might not necessarily be 100% legal. But who does everything legally? We're not choir boys and girls. But yeah, that's there's a bunch of stuff going on over there. See, I can see my computer says I have no audio output on. And I don't understand that. Be why I didn't hear it. Oh, it said it was muted. Why did it do that? See if I can bring up my screen here. Oops, what did I just do? This one. Window. This one. Share. Oh. See if I can zoom in here. See, we got Marco Rubio. Everything I know about the guy, I don't know a lot about the guy, but he seems like he's a good candidate. He's another one of them though that's like too much of a politician. But I just don't like regular people that go into politics to be a politician. Man, because I don't remember which founding father said it, but one of the founding fathers said that anybody that goes into politics to make money, man, it's not a money making thing. Uh-oh. Jesus heard that. I'm trying to get this thing out of the bottom here so you can see my screen better. Well, that's the thing, Barbie. It is 100% legal to block highways, and that's the only reason they allow it to occur is because they don't want the image to the public that they are shutting down quote unquote peaceful protests. It is illegal to block highways and roadways. It's illegal to do that. So they need to just enforce the law because you're not allowed. What people forget is it is 100% legal to protest, but it is not legal to protest in such a fashion that you violate other people's rights. If you're violating other people's rights, it's the same thing with the gender stuff. With transgenders men wanting to use women's bathrooms. They're trying to say, well, you're violating their right. Okay, but you're also infringing upon women's rights. So that makes it goes back to the old thing. You have a right as long as you're not infringing upon others' rights. And that's what don't understand. They hardly ever say or bring that up. But you are infringing upon a woman's right to privacy. As a woman, they don't want to see that stuff. You know, but they are finally starting to push on it a bit. I think it's just because they know that the Republicans are coming in and they're going to get away with finally putting their foot down on some stuff, and they know America's spoken that they're getting tired of all this really stupid stuff. The problem is a lot of people conflate sex and gender. There's only two sexes. There's male and female. The whole gender thing, I really don't care what people want to say their gender is. You want to say your gender is whatever you want. That's your business. You could say it if you want. Then again, you cannot infringe on other people's rights. You cannot force somebody to call you that. If you want to have a delusion and say that you have a certain gender, that's fine. But you have to realize your sex is male or female. Simple as that. Now, your gender can be whatever you want it to be, but you cannot force anybody else to go along with it. Yeah, I'm not sure who all in there right now is considered a rhino. You get in a weird spot. You don't want to vote whenever them rhinos run. Like we have Mike DeWine as our governor in the state of Ohio. That dude's a rhino, Republican through and through. Okay, but you don't want to vote in a Democrat governor. So how do you do that? When they're running on the Republican ticket, you'd have to get the Republicans to get him out somehow. It's kind of a catch-22. Good afternoon, Gigi. How you doing? Good to see you in there. You get kind of between a rock and a hard place in them situations. Um, is my little pointer in there? This dude here that he just put up for the Treasury guy, he was on Fox News and they had an interview with him, and he seemed like a pretty knowledgeable fella. I mean, I think he has the qualifications and capabilities to do his what he wanted to do. The Doug Burgum guy, I'm kind of really surprised that Trump has made the idea that he wants to use that guy after all the things he talked about and things he said about Trump and said he would never support Trump, blah, blah. And that's what gets me about a lot of these guys saying Donald Trump's like all out for revenge and all that. He seems to be very forgiving. I mean, even JD Vance talked crap about him at one point in time, and and Trump embraces people, even though they've talked really bad about him in the past. That changed their mind. He realizes that people can make mistakes and buy into the wrong side of the hype if they start paying attention and see the light and come around, he gives them a chance. See who else we got in here. I don't know much of anything about most of these people actually, but I think I'll tell you the ones I think are good choices. I think Marco Rubio was a good choice. Pam Bondi, now that she's in there, everybody's saying they think she'll have no problem getting confirmed because she has the right qualifications. But You know, the Democrats will try to find a way to say something bad about her, I'm sure. Pete Hegseth, I think Pete's a good choice. You know, a veteran. He also has several degrees, which people forget about, from some pretty prestigious colleges. Uh, Kristi Noem, she seems like she's a pretty decent candidate. She's been pretty loyal to Trump over the last few years. Biker News Canada, yes. I don't know. I've heard that rumor about Elon possibly buying it. I didn't know Don Jr. wanted in on it. It would be interesting, but I'm not sure if they proved anything. They proved that there's not a lot of hope for legacy media, regular television. I don't know if they could turn it around and get people to watch or not. Uh, Once they have a bad reputation, it's hard to change that sometimes. Going back down the list here. Don't know this person. Don't really know much about this guy. A lot of them in the same, uh, like the CIA guy. He was in. I believe he was in that department, but in Trump's cabinet before, almost like a promotion. Dr. Oz, there he stirred up a lot of controversy when he ran in Pennsylvania, but the guy is intelligent. I'll give him that. He's intelligent, pretty level-headed guy. Beats daylight. None of these guys, none of the people on Trump's cabinet here look like they're. Since my thing's not switched, none of these people really seem like they're like DEI hires. They're all at least somewhat qualified, intelligent, people. Yeah, that's not working. Zoom back out a little bit here. Getting crooked here. Almost as crooked as I am here. This dude over here, I thought maybe they would put him in where they put Pam Bondi in. They said people thought Trump might choose him for his name Whitaker. That he might choose him for Attorney General. Am I reading this correctly? This time, I want people loyal to Trump. We voted him in to pass his agendas. We have enough unelected bureaucrats in the government already. Steve, you was talking all liberal the other day. Now you're confused. Are you I'm trying to think of what I want to say. I was going to say, like, you're politically bi. He goes both ways. Dude, that's where they come up with the term bipartisan. Flip floppers. Let's see. We got people I don't know. I don't know why it decided to go like that to me. Oh, there we go. Drag it over. Yay. Watch HardWire trying to figure his computer out live on the air. Linda McMahon, that really threw me for a loop. I mean, I know Trump likes her, but yeah, that's hard Hard to believe Mrs. McMahon. Maybe she'll orchestrate. That's why I kept saying in the chat the other day. Maybe she'll orchestrate a few cage matches, and put them on there. I want to see that. Well, I'll say again, during my political uh, lifelong journey, I started out as a Democrat. Then I kind of went to be an independent because I always thought, hey, they're both sides they're all corrupt, all government sucks. And then I kind of more as the parties went really far left, the Democratic Party just started shooting way left. I started kind of getting pushed into the starter Republican area. I was raised pretty conservative. Like my grandpa worked in the coal mines and had a housewife, and my mother was kind of a housewife, and didn't really work. And I kind of was raised thinking that's the way things are supposed to be, but yeah, I got that kind of walloped out of me the hard way when I turned 18 and got married the first time. Started figuring out the world and got a big old macho man elbow smash of life to figure that out. What's up, Redneck Side? Good to see you, man. Glad you can make the show. I'm doing pretty good. How about you? How's things over there in Salem? That's where you're at, right? I looked it up because I gotta get over there. I have a day off this week. Man, I was gonna say Friday I could come down because they give us Black Friday off. But you're probably, if you're not, do you think you'll be really busy Friday? Not. uh, If not, I can come down Friday. We could shoot this segment and get it over with. I don't know, but then again, you might be closing down for the holidays for the weekend. Well, you don't think you'll be too busy Friday? Well, how about I try to come down Friday, so I'll be off work. You open at what, like noon? I think on Fridays or something like that. You looked into the commerce guy. Which one's that? Howard Lutnick. Yeah, I really should spend more time looking into the history of some of these guys, but in all reality, most of these jobs are behind the scenes. You're not really going to know a lot about what they do and what they say. They were complaining that Trump, believe it or not, they were complaining that Trump wanted to put work requirements back into welfare. And I said, I thought they was always there. And here I found out they've been coming and going. They've been putting them in, taking them out, putting them in, and taking them out for years. But that seems dumb. Even if, all right, Redneck Side, I got you. I'll let you know. I'll get a hold of you. It seems to me, because I did it. I was on welfare at one point too, and off and on for a lot of my younger life. But they always had work requirements, and there was times whenever I had to go in, basically be a maintenance man well, they have different places you can do it, but what I did was help maintenance at the human services building, and swept floors and went in and cleaned offices and stuff. But to me, that just, it makes sense. That way you're not entirely getting your stuff for free. You're helping uh, put labor into government jobs where the government can kind of save some money on work, and you're not just getting it entirely for free. See, that's the Democrats' way of thinking. They just want to give it away. Not only that, but whenever you're working your ass off and you're working to try to get your quote unquote free stuff, it inspires. I think it inspires people to actually get a job where they get cash, instead of their food stamps. But I really think that's a dumb thing to be mad about. The Democrats are mad that Trump wants to put that back in there. Oh, excuse me. Oops. On bikers. Or wrong with conservatives who always try and put them in the joint. I don't know entirely. I want Republicans kind of like Robert F. Kennedy, like I said, that lived their life a little bit. I don't want that Republican that says, "Oh, I've never hit a joint," you know what I mean, kind of guy. I want one that tells me, "Yes, I was in college. I partied pretty hard. I had a good time. I've lived my life a little. I've had some fun. I haven't always been a choir boy." Those are the kind of guys I want. I don't, because then they have a little better understanding of the world. I don't want the sheltered uh, nerd that ain't never lived, never done anything in their life, and they just have this weird view of for instance, pot laws. I think a lot of the pot laws are literally come from lawmakers that have never lived their freaking life. They have no idea. They just go, "Ooh, pot's bad. Have you ever tried it?" "No, I've never tried it. It's awful. They've never lived. They've never done anything. I mean, I know people like that. The people have been lived their life so sheltered they really don't have a effing clue about anything. And those people like that have no business running the government. They really don't because they don't. Oh, you guys don't have to do that. Uh, straight jacket. My my down now goes here to the progenitor of the Insane Wheels family, the Insane Wheels Network, the IWN. Mike had to figure it out the other day on the show. He didn't know what I was talking about. To the IWN, Insane Wheels Network, the Insane Wheels Network family. And Mike's really the reason we all are here. And I appreciate Mike a lot. And Mike, me and my old lady are trying to make plans to come back down again sometime. Maybe make, since last time was kind of a last minute thing, I'm thinking about trying to plan more, where we can come down and maybe go down to Huntsville or something and see a concert. Try to plan it. I'll buy tickets and we'll plan some different things to do while we're down there. But yeah, we're already trying to plan something. The ding dong on the phone. What's going on there? There's no Steelers game today, and nobody give me shit because Steelers lost. They look like garbage. They look like a dumpster fire against the Browns. Browns fans are the worst. Well, the thing is a lot of the rules. I think you're talking about government. See, biker news. I don't think you're understanding exactly what Christian nationalism is. Christian nationalism is literally just Christians, and nationalism is a movement towards being mostly for your country. Nationalism, it's not a bad thing. It really isn't. I know, like Steve was saying, a lot of the rules are Christian, and not everybody's Christian, but literally, uh, the basis of Christianity and the Ten Commandments and things like that, none of them are bad. They're all good. It's good things to live by, whether you're Christian or not. Uh, thou shalt not kill, man. Number one, you can't say, "Well, I'm not Christian, so I shouldn't have to believe in that." Come on, that's not a bad thing. Uh, thou shalt not commit adultery. That kind of thing. Nobody wants their old ladies cheating on them. I mean, but whether they removed adultery laws from pretty much everywhere. They're almost non-existent anymore. I don't think there's anywhere left where they still enforce that, in the United States anyway. See, Steve, if you say America first, then you're a nationalist. May not be a Christian nationalist, but that's nationalism. Got rid of the Joe. No more coffee for today. And drinking out of that is too noisy. So we'll go with the good old can pop. Well, Democrats say nationalists like it's a horrible thing, and they relate it to Hitler. And in a sense, Hitler was a nationalist. He was all about Germany, but that doesn't mean nationalism is bad. Uh, Hitler was bad, but that doesn't mean everything that you can say in name associated means it's also bad. Just like if you do research into the swastika symbol, let me take this back off of here. If you do research into the swastika as a symbol, the history of the swastika is actually very fascinating. It's been around, uh, and nobody wants to talk about it because of what Hitler did with the symbol. He appropriated the symbol, and all of a sudden, it's always considered bad. But it was around way before Hitler ever tried to appropriate it, and the swastika is not a bad thing. Uh, the Hitler was a bad thing, but not you can't say everything he touched and tried to appropriate's bad. You're almost giving him power by doing so. That's to me that's just not right. Well, actually, the swastika shows up going all the way back to like the Mayans and ancient Egyptians, and they find swastika symbols, and one of uh, the mounds in Ohio, the Native American mounds was a big swastika. You think that had anything to do with Hitler? It didn't. They're not sure exactly what they think the origin of the symbol is, though. But the same symbols found all across different continents. It's found in ancient Chinese culture, uh, and they're not sure. They think it might have something to do with the stars and constellations and the stars, maybe. But there's so much of our history in the world that kind of got erased. That's why, if you ever get a chance, there's something called the what the hell is it called? The younger dryas theory. That the world that basically says was a catastrophic event in the past, a kind of wiped out history, or that the world had. Uh, there was ancient technologies and things, uh, and everything got wiped out by a big natural disaster, and basically the world technologically is a world with amnesia of our past. It's really fascinating. Look it up. It's way better than me trying to explain it to you because I can't remember what I did yesterday, let alone something I read a while back. But I know it's really cool, and it tends to make it actually makes some pretty crazy sense if you get a chance to look it up. Oh, there was a lot more to what caused the Great Depression than just isolationism. We don't want we don't want to be like totally isolationist where we just don't associate with anybody else and only worry nothing but about ourselves. But we have to stay global on the world stage. But we got to worry about worrying about making sure we're taken care of first. Fucking camera. That we're taken care of first, and nobody's taking advantage of us. There's so many places on the planet where people are so poor that they'll work for next to nothing, and then they can make these products cheaper, ship them to America, have them be real cheap. But all American workers suffer for that because we can't make products uh, as cheaply, and the only way to kind of do that is with tariffs, like Trump's trying to do. And I've been saying that long before Trump ever did. When they started getting rid of tariffs, that was one of the worst things they ever did because that's the whole point. Tariffs help you worry about your own workers and keep our own products a level playing field. See, Walt, I seen that the Democrats are posting all over the place that prices are going to go up if Trump does that. And yes, prices for foreign goods will go up, but that's the point. It's supposed to equalize prices where you're not going to get all these really cheap garbage at the Chinese shit prices. It's going to bring everything up close to American made goods. And then when you do that, what are you going to buy? You're going to buy American made goods are such better quality than the cheap Chinese crap. You're going to buy the good stuff if it's the same price. I mean, it forces an equalization in the system, and it's way better for America. We need a lot of these jobs that are overseas. We need here. We need a lot of. We need to be able to be self sufficient. If a world war breaks out and we can't get stuff, we need to be able to make it here, that's just the only way to do it. Right, right, Steve. I'm assuming it's Posey. Uh, that's what I'm saying too. We don't necessarily want to. We don't want to be totally isolated, but we want America first. That's important. And like could swear Joe Biden was just. Everybody wondered, about his China connections and all the people that was paying him in the past, dude. And it showed. You couldn't prove it, but a lot of his policies helped out the ones that scratched his back before, and that's kind of how it works. And to me, it was obvious. I don't know how a lot of other people didn't see that. I mean, Joe Biden was definitely scratching their backs of the ones that helped him out, and why they didn't go after him more. I know they said that they thought he was too old and incompetent, but he's running the country. They should went after him for that, man. Should have went after him years ago. The Biden family is got to be one of the not the one of the most corrupt families in American history, and some of the transactions and places he's taken money from and done in exchange for changing American foreign policy is downright treasonous. And they just let it go and let him get away with it. I mean, I know he's old and he probably don't have a lot of time left. But still, you just can't take his money. Fine him everything. Make him poor and broke. Take away his retirement as president, and he gets paid for the rest of life. Take it away. You know, don't pay this clown. And the Democrats swear up and down he deserved to be on Mount Rushmore. He'll go down as one of the most consequential, best presidents ever. And holy moly, are you living on a different planet than the rest of us? That's terrible. I just can't believe it. I don't know. I don't understand how some of these people think. Let me go back to the chat here a little bit. Oh, yeah, the government's always been, to an extent, weaponized, a little, to use towards their benefit against usually citizens more than anybody. But now they're starting to use it against higher profile political opponents. And yeah, it's bad. The Democrats are just making it. If there's one thing that's happened over the years, it's with the internet, is the knowledge, the ability to get knowledge of some of these things that are going on. I'm sure some of this is kind of stuff's always went on, but it was harder for people to know about it. And the Democrats don't even hide it anymore. It's just they just do it right out there, blatant, does all get out. And to me, I don't know how anybody could listen to anything the Democrats say anymore and believe any of it. They have lost all credibility. I'm big on somebody's word meaning something, and they've lied about so many things that, yeah, their word doesn't mean anything. Literally means nothing. They could say anything they want, and then to me, rather than approaching it from a point of wanting to believe it, what they say, I'm usually when a person says something, you at least give them the benefit of the doubt that they're right, and then you approach it with skepticism. But with Democrats now, it's literally every time they open their mouth, it's like a fart in the wind. It means nothing. Yeah, that's why I keep saying in the chat whenever somebody asks what I think about NAFTA, my college politics professor used to say NAFTA plus CAFTA equals the Shafta. Equals Americans getting the Shafta because we got screwed. Trump tried to renegotiate all that, and I haven't spent enough time researching whether he renegotiated it or if we just withdrew from it. I'm not sure, but I know it was addressed, and it's about time because people were really getting screwed. I mean, even if you try to come at it with the sense of equality, there's no equality. because, like I said earlier, if you set everything to like a zero, places like China have a huge advantage because their workers work for nothing, next to nothing. They've got so many people over there, and they're living. They're. I'm having a brain fart. Uh, anyway, their way of living over there, they're used to it. Over here we're we have a higher living, and we demand more money over here. We can't. It's not level. It's not a level playing field. You have to adjust the levels here in order to give us a level playing field. And usually, that's like I say, it's done with tariffs. And throughout history, that's the way it's always been done. I mean, and it helps bring in money for the government to help pay for all their garbage. I'm looking forward. Like I said, I think when Trump gets into office, one of the first things he should do is try to find a way to make this Doge department a thing, an actual thing. Right now, it's just symbolic and like a think tank that's going to make suggestions. But I really think we need that. We actually need that. We need somebody to go in there, even keep it to as a monitoring entity to constantly go in and make sure everything's in our government's updated and it's running efficiently. Because if you know anything about our government, if you've ever worked around it, there is so much inefficiency in our government. It is horrible. Our government might as well be taking huge stacks of money and lighting it on fire. I mean, it's horrible. Yeah, biker news. When you get a chance, you'll have to try to see if you can find anything about all the protests that are going on up there. See if you can find any information, or if your government's somehow trying to keep it from you. I don't understand how they can do that. I mean, I know. See, I'm not sure how China does it either. There's got to be a way. China feeds certain information to their people. I'm not sure how they do it with the internet. How do they block all the rest of the stuff? There must be some kind of algorithm, or almost like a firewall or something, where they somehow let only what they want through. Not sure how they do that. Maybe you have it up there in Canada too. Oh, it bans based off IP address. Well, they have a list of places they think post information they don't want and ban those IPs. Still, that wouldn't stop a lot of information getting through. Oh, so they can pretty much ban all IPs that aren't in China, and then turn around and filter information. They can let American and different countries' information come in filtered through someplace that they want, that gets to check all that stuff and only send out what they want. That'd be a lot of work, though. They must have a Chinese governmental organization that's censorship committee that goes. His only job is to go through and check a lot of stuff and make sure only what they want to get through is getting through or whatever. That's a lot of work, but I guess communism. Oh, protesting the war over there. War is brutal. It's a horrible thing, but people are naive to think that there you can control civilian casualties. Look back at any of the wars. There's a lot of strategic positions that places bombed during some of the world wars, but then there was tons of civilian casualties. That's a part of war. Yeah, people, especially the kids nowadays, are just too naive to thinking that you can somehow just not hurt any civilians. That's just crazy. How they think that works. They can do that is beyond me. You win a war, if you need to win a war and people are trying to kill you, you're going to do whatever it takes to win the war. There's no the only rules of war that there even should be is to ban things like chemical weapons, biological warfare, but that's not saying that if a country gets desperate enough, it won't do it anyway. No matter what, if it comes down to your very survival, you're going to do whatever it takes, man. There's no, it's like fighting somebody, man. There's no rules. You do what it takes to win. You got to punch them right in the mommy daddy button. You do it. There's no rules, man. People go, oh, you can't do that. The fuck, I can't. There ain't no damn rules in fighting, buddy. I'm sorry. You do what it takes to win. Good kick right. If the guy's real big, good kick right to the side of the knee, right along the side of the knee. Take them. That's a good way to knock them down to size real fast, and do it when they don't expect it. Don't ever. The whole thing when you're younger, you like to get in somebody's face and they sit there and go meh, 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 to each other, right in each other's face, and hope nobody's going to do anything. No, that's not how it works. Especially when you get older, you need every advantage you can get. Somebody gets up in my face, and I'm pretty damn sure they're coming after me, and they're wanting to fight. I plow them. I ain't waiting. I ain't going to sit there and run my mouth. I'm just going to knock them the fuck out. Simple as that. There ain't no point in playing. You don't play them games like you did when you were a kid no more. You don't play. I ain't messing around. Well, the whole Israel Gaza thing, the whole thing over there it's a religious war. They don't think that the Jews have a right to exist at all, and they want to wipe them off the face of the earth. And how do you contend with that? No matter what, there's two sides that don't want peace. They don't want peace. They want to kill each other. They want to wipe each other off the face of the earth. Should we be complicit in helping that? No, no, no. That's not our religious war. But I understand where Israel's coming from. I mean, Israel might try to get a peace, kind of leave me alone kind of thing, and I'll leave you alone. But them guys won't. Even before this October 7th thing that started their war, these guys were lobbing bombs across their border, and they were just letting them get away with it for the longest time until they went too far. It was the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. They've been doing that shit for years, throwing bombs at them. So I don't really blame Israel for that, what they're doing. I mean, I tried to ask that on the panel that Mike had that one day. Is how do you contend with that? I know you want peace, but one side literally wants to wipe you out, and that's part of their religion. They're raising their children to think you're less than human, and how do you contend with that? There's no good way to deal with that. There really isn't. It's an awful thing. But what do you do? We can't. No matter what we do, we're creating the next generation of terrorism because they're going to hate us. They're going to hate us no matter what. They're raising their kids to hate us. That's just the way they raise them. How do you win that? How do you find a way to win against somebody who thinks you don't deserve to live as a religion? There's, do I believe we should somehow wipe them all out? No, I don't think that's right either. Genocide's not good, but and the Palestinian people all support Hamas. They don't deserve to die, just die, but at the same time, they're the ones that put these guys that are terrorizing another nation into power, and they want them there. They still support them. If you ask Palestinians, they say we all support Hamas. It's such a it's one of them things that too many people, the younger kids these days, don't understand. They don't take time to think about it. They got this idealistic kumbaya attitude about the world. They think we should all be able to get along, and idealistically speaking, you could, but it just eh, it's in the it's ingrained in people. It's part of their religion. They don't want to peace. They don't want to get along. They don't want you to exist. They don't want Israel to exist as a nation. There's no good way to deal with that. Good to see you, Carney's Ride. Glad you made it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wish we could all just hug and get along. I really do. I wish we could, but that's just not reality. You have to be a realist in the whole thing and realize that this just not going to be that way. It's like I hear people every day, uh, and the people that I talk to a lot of people that are like pretty stout Republicans, staunch Republicans, not stout, but uh, say things like we just need to get rid of welfare. Okay, well, that's not realistic. That's what you want, but that's never going to happen that way. You can't just cut it out and leave all these people that are dependent upon it just fall off into homelessness and starving. You just can't. You have to find a way to refine it and maybe wean it out, or wean people off of it, make it harder to get. There's a million things that you can do. Like when they was going to have drug tests for people on welfare, 100% should have done that and supported that. 100%. If you should have to take a drug test to get a job, you should have to take a drug test to get free shit. Simple as that. That I was 100% for that. There's ways of pushing out the undeserving that shouldn't be getting and living on welfare. Not just trying to say no more welfare. That's just not realistic. Hey, Blair, what's happening, man? I seen you on that panel last night. It was everything I could do to watch. I almost couldn't even watch it. That was bad. Half the shit they said I could barely understand, and some of them guys over there just they sounded like keyboard warriors, man. I really wanted to smack them. I wanted to find a way to reach a phone. The computer really needs a little robot hand that'll come out and go, "Pwada!" Man, that was hard to deal with. I know Mike kept saying, "Hey, you should jump on the panel." I'm like, "Nah, I can't. I can't do it." And I don't know. I don't understand the whole talking and putting your little screen on there with no person on there. To me, that's why I said something. Then they immediately tried to jump on me about it. But it's why would you not want? It'd be like, would my show be a show if I just decided to talk and put a little skull in the middle and just talk, and it wouldn't be a show. You want to see me, you want to hear me talk, and it's just not. It's not a show if you can't see the facial expressions. It means a lot for entertainment and to keep people engaged. It means a lot to be able to see the person's face and know who you're talking to. That's the whole point of video podcasts. If it's a video, you want to see people. You don't want if it was a radio show, then again, it's all about talking. Oh, I don't doubt that at all. Especially that one that's in the one chat that's a transgender person. I can't remember their name, but boy, I get the weirdest feeling that there's a whole lot of ugly going on there. Yeah, I just get that feeling, and I heard him say something, I can't remember what it was, and I went, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you don't." A lot of them people that decide they wanna be transgender or different things, yeah, it's because they don't they're a man and they a really ugly man. They think being a woman, calling themselves a woman will make it better, but they just a 10 times uglier woman. So yeah, I can't be the only one that notices that. Most people that do that are just awful looking people, and most of them have awful personalities too. And they somehow think that changing their gender is going to get them more attention, and sometimes it does. But man, why do you if you're in that kind of situation, the last thing you want's more attention drawn to yourself, man. That's the last damn thing you want. I hope you guys like the show. I know it's not Mike puts up the balloons and it's a little more entertaining. I'm still working on getting to that. Last time did the show, for some reason nobody could hear the audio. I don't know what I did that made it that way. You couldn't something set wrong that you can't hear what's on my screen. Maybe we'll run a little test and see if you can. I can hear that. Can you hear that?
Fake news. Joe Rogan mocks The View after co-host accused him of believing in dragons. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna do is show you the clip from these little. I'm almost done.
Uh,
I'm gonna show you a bunch of fucking ads we put on Chicken City about you, The View instead, and they disparage Joe Rogan.
can you hear that at all? I don't know what I did to mess it up so you couldn't hear it. Oop. So you can't hear that. I don't know what's going on why you can't hear that. Loud as hell in my ears, and it shows up on my board. but for some reason, nobody can hear it. No, I got this weird board. The board, I chose it because it was kind of cool and it's dumbed down. Kind of dumbed down. It doesn't have all the fancy sliders on it and stuff, but there's settings in there that you have to go to. You have to set your channels, and I think I understand why they do it. They do it to help control the feedback loop that can happen and cause all your echoing and whatnot. If you had certain channels going in, it would cause issues. But ugh, sorry, I did that. Put her on the screen. But yeah, it won't be that bad to fix. I just need time to do it. It ain't one thing wanting my time, it's something else lately. Do this, do that, go here, go there. Try to hang out with the wife as much as I can because she wants attention. Freaking women, anyway. Then I gotta work. Stupid work. Gotta have money. Yeah, Ghost Eagle. No, it's just I gotta read through the book. No, I'm not a fan of The View. That was Timcast IRL, which I watch. I watch a lot of his shorts and segments. I don't really sit down. His show's on late in the afternoon and goes on, and I don't have time to sit and watch a lot of it. But I like a lot of Timcast and a lot of his stuff. Like I say, I listen to Joe Rogan a lot. I listen to Matt Walsh. For a while, I was listening to some Ben Shapiro, but there's something about his voice that just drives me nuts. I just don't. It's not that I disagree with some. I agree with some of his viewpoints, but I can't stand his voice. His voice drives me crazy. So, yeah, I like to watch Joe Rogan and yeah, well, I like to watch a lot of the family shows. Uh, I tune into Code all the time, even though he doesn't typically come to my show. He's always too busy on Sundays. I try to watch his show every single day. He tends to talk a lot about drama, though, which I don't like. But he seems like a good dude. And I watch BD show until Mike's show comes on, and I watch Mike's show. Eventually, I'd like to do my show a little bit more often. I was thinking about what do you guys think? I'd like to think about doing a special since I like a Thanksgiving special this week or something. Since I'm off for Thanksgiving and all weekend long, I was thinking about doing a little afternoon Thanksgiving day maybe or something special. Just for a chance for us to get together and chat, and I'm thinking of something to maybe put some of us together on a panel or something if anybody else isn't busy. Cooking with HardWire. I'm actually a pretty good cook. Ask my old lady. When me and her got together, she was really skinny, and she goes, I know never gain weight." I said, "Well, you ain't been around Fat Man here, HardWire for long. You'll gain weight around me because I'm a good cook." And she found out. She gained some weight, a lot more than she wanted to. But I'm a very dash of this, dash of that. Take a spoon and taste it a little bit, kind of cook. And I've had some things not turn out not so wonderful, and some things turn out that were fantastic. But the bad thing about cooking that way is you can never replicate it twice sometimes, and that sucks. Because I've had some that turned out really good that I wish I could make again. She was trying to get me drunk last night, but yeah, we went to the local little RC club house last night for a little while. She disappeared for a few minutes. She went inside because it was warmer inside, and I went outside because it was cooler outside, and it was way too hot inside for me. So, and it was almost too cold outside, but I went outside and hung out outside. She come out and she goes, "Woo! There was booze in there. It was free. Somebody was giving me moonshine. Blah blah blah." And next thing you know, she's coming out and she goes, "Well, if I'd have been there much," I was like, "You ready to go?" She goes, "If I'd have been there any longer, I'd have probably been falling over." I'm like, "What the hell's wrong with you? You know better than to do that." And then she comes home. My daughter was drinking at home, and my daughter wanted to get drunk. So she's next thing I know, her and my daughter's pouring shots on. You've had enough. And she's like, "No, no." And then they're cranking the music up and dancing around the living room like weirdos. Next thing you know, my old lady's sitting in the corner, with her head down, going, "I don't feel good. I don't feel good." And I said, "See, you don't know when to cut yourself off, so you don't get like that." She just does not know when to saying, "I've had enough." I tried to cut her off, and she would not listen. And she was trying like hell to get me drunk. And I kept saying, "No, not in the mood. No thanks. Don't." She had the really crappy 42 proof, uh, 42 proof Fireball, and I says, "I won't drink that garbage. That stuff tastes like shit." She goes, "It's the same thing." I said, "No, it is not the same thing at all." I said, "If you come at me with anything that didn't come from a liquor store, I'm not drinking it. I don't drink any of that 42 proof. It's either diluted or something entirely different with the same name that you can get from the grocery store that doesn't they can't sell liquor. I want the real stuff. Ain't no way. I'm not wasting my time with that other crap. It's garbage. Garbage booze. Won't drink it. Oh, Mike. No, no, no. I am not a fan of most regular whiskeys. Like what is it? What would you call them? Dark whiskeys, all the casket aged type stuff. Whiskey in general, I guess, like Jack or Jim or any of them. I like Yukon Jack, which is considered a Canadian whiskey, and I don't know if it's really Canadian. Maybe BNC can answer that, but I like Yukon Jack. It's considered a honey whiskey, which is good. I like that, but some people don't because it's too sweet. Maybe that's my thing. I like things that are sweet. If you give me a wine, it's got to be a sweet wine, or I won't drink it. I mean, granted, most hard liquors, I in a pinch, I will drink. Uh, when the bar was out of Yukon Jack, I used to drink Wild Turkey once in a while. Yeah, there's not too many hard liquors that I absolutely will not touch. The only one is tequila. I cannot even smell tequila. Just the smell of tequila makes me want to throw up. Now that's American crap tequila. My old lady don't like the wine. She likes the hard stuff. There's plenty of jokes in there. You're setting yourself up for. Uh, I used to drink a lot of rum and cokes. I used to drink that once in a while. Uh, what is it? I used to call it Lady Blah. Lady Blah. That's the generic version of uh, Captain Morgan. Captain Morgan and well, it's called rum and coke or Captain and Coke, but I always use Pepsi, not Coke, because I like Pepsi better. Rum turned Steve into an actual pirate. Holy crap! If you want to drink beer in Canada, you're paying. Guess that's one way to cut down on alcoholics. That's basically what Americans have done to cigarettes, man. Like the government's got made cigarettes so expensive that if you want to stay smoking, you're either going to quit or you're going to dedicate yourself to a life of being broke because you're literally, if you have a pack a day habit, that's like $10 a day because cigarettes are around $10 a pack now. That's insane. Insanity. They make it so expensive. You either have to quit or just dedicate your life to being a broke bastard. You guys are something else. Yeah, you don't need drink to fun. Fun to drink. That's kind of interchangeable. I used to like this one. I don't know if anybody else remembers it or not. I used to like Goldschlager was what it was called. It was a clear cinnamon, I think whiskey or something, and it had little gold flakes in it. Until I heard that they can cause kidney stones, and then they quit drinking it. It was smooth. Mm. Somebody says, "Oh, that's all the same as firewater or whatever," and I went and said, "You know what? I'll try firewater again because I hadn't tried it in years." And I'm like, bought a bottle of that, and it just tasted so horrible. I was like, "No, it's nothing like that shit's garbage." Damn, you guys got it bad. You can't afford to drink anywhere. If it costs that much, what's it cost at a pub or a bar? I don't know what you guys call a pub or a bar. Prices are getting out of hand here. If you want to go out anywhere to have a good time and socialize, you can't afford it. Whenever I was still smoking on the regular, it was cheaper to roll your own, and I started doing that for a while. It's just a pain in the ass, is all it is. But it was a lot cheaper. $4 a bottle of beer there. That's out in Oregon. In Ohio, it's about the same. It's about 3 or 3 and a quarter a beer, depending upon where you go. If it's uppity place, they charge you more. If it's a dive bar, that's a little less. I'm a member of a club with the Army Navy club here in a couple towns over, and their drinks are still cheap. They're only $3 a shot and $2 a beer. That's why I like that place. I just wish it was closer to where I live. I'd go there more. I like some moonshines. Well, moonshines. They're not real moonshine. Real moonshine would knock your dick in the dirt. Real moonshines taste like drinking straight alcohol, and it don't have flavor. Uh, if it's got any kind of flavor in it, it's not real moonshine. Uh, but the homemade quote unquote moonshines, I'm a fan of some of them. I used to make an apple pie that was really good. Apple pie moonshine's good if it's made right. I always made mine a little on the strong side, which some people didn't like. But if you do it right, you can make it. There's a fine line. You could make it where it's really pretty darn strong, and almost can't taste any alcohol in it because it's you drink it and it goes down so smooth. Next thing you know, poop, you're drunk now. And that's the way it should be. If you make it right, it should go down almost like drinking cider. Yeah, and I bought a. That's another thing, man. I don't know where you guys live, and if you're a fan of cider, apple cider's gotten really expensive. I just bought a gallon of apple cider. You used to be able to get them for like $1, and now they're $7 a gallon. Is what I've almost what I paid for cider, man. That's horrible. And I bought it for cooking with the turkey and ham on Thanksgiving, and I'm going to end up drinking it all before then. I'm going to have to get more because I love apple cider. Yeah, I love me some apple cider. Uh, the one party we went to, they sold what they call they call it 420 shine. It was had THC in it, and it was actually not as bad as it sounds. It wasn't too overly potent on either side. Uh, it, you could drink it, and it would give you a real nice mellow buzz, and it wasn't. You didn't get seemed like you were getting too drunk or too high. It was good stuff. I liked it. I did not make it back to that particular area this year yet uh, to get more, which I wanted to do, but I did not get that chance. Uh, Hopefully, maybe the beginning of next year I'll get some. And the price wasn't bad. They usually have just about every flavor you can think of. They had peach and raspberry and strawberry and watermelon, and the peach was really good. And they usually had a couple little slices peach in the bottom, or whatever flavor you got had some fruit in it, just a little bit, something to get you messed up like eating a worm. Yeah, I think I'm going to set up the interview with the wife if she still wants to do it. I think I'm going to set that up pretty soon. I'm going to try to find some subjects besides politics to go into because I didn't want this to be a show about politics. Even though, especially now that the election's over, uh, I just needed something to put up, and that's what was on my mind at the moment. But I'm gonna try to get some different subject matter here. Uh, Coming up on December 4th, I'm gonna be on the Straight Jacket show, I believe, if he's available still to do it on that day. Some of his run really late, and I hope he understands. My old ass don't like to stay up too awful late, so I don't know that it'll be a real late one. Yeah, but that'll be December 4th, unless for some reason we end up having to postpone it or something. Uh, I'll try to get an interview in with the wife. I got to figure out setting up my second camera. I found an app that might let me do it, but I haven't had a chance to experiment with it yet. I think it's made by Cyberlink. It's called UCam, I think it's called. Haven't had a chance to experiment with it yet, but I do believe it'll do what I want it to do for getting me the second camera availability here. Yeah, we know all about the balls now. We know about the balls. Balls are awesome. Well, Mike balls are awesome. Not Mike's balls are awesome. That almost sounded really bad. No, the Ball family is awesome, and we love them. Uh, yeah, I want to try to find since I have my little studio here set up for 2 mics and I got 2 chairs. I want to try to find some people to interview that can sit down with me here and I know some people, I think, but I gotta try to set that up. I think the wife will still want to do hers now that she's not as camera shy. She said she might have to get drunk first. I don't know if we want that or not. A drunk Peaches. I don't think that'd be good. The daughters, maybe I can get the daughter in here if she don't want to be camera shy. I don't know. She might not. We'll see. We'll find out. I see. I might have to try to get some of my friends that aren't in clubs anymore. See if any of them want to do an interview and talk about their experiences. I still got it. I'm gonna try to get over to Redneck Side Whips Friday, I believe. Yeah, Friday. Try to get over there, do some recording. I gotta make sure I get my equipment ready. Make sure everything functions the way I want it to before I go over. We don't need no last minute oopsies and malfunctions, and then I gotta run all the way home to find stuff or get stuff, make it work. Hey, Dean. Let's see. Did you just get here? I sometimes, Dean, I forget that I don't drink as much as I used to, and I can get a little out of hand because I forget that I used to have a lot more tolerance than I do now, and I will think that I can drink like I used to. Yeah, and sometimes that's bad. Oh, you've been here for a while. You're just not talking. You sandbagger. Yeah, I went to we have a place here called Hog Heaven. We went I went there yesterday and had a steak. I knew it wasn't gonna be that big of a steak because it said 8 ounce, but it come out and I'll bet you it was probably the size of my vape. It was tiny. Little tiny slice of steak, and I was like, dude, I should have ordered more. That sucks when you go out to eat, you spend money to eat, and then you go home and you're still hungry. That was bad, man. I was still hungry when I got home. But the particular place that I went, Hog Heaven, I knew There's two different ones of those locally. There's one in this town, and there's one in the next town over. And the one in the next town over is way better. The serving sizes are even better. I don't even know. Sometimes you wonder how they're even got the same name. But there is another place in the next town over called Sammy Sue's Barbecue, and they are fantastic. All their stuff is everything I've had so far there has been phenomenal, and it's making me hungry just talking about it. Everything that got smoked, perfect. Although when I took the family there, I took my son, his right after he got married, and my I took the whole family, and it ended up costing me almost $300. I've never went anywhere and had to bill that much that I paid for myself. And that hurts. That hurts on spending that kind of money on a meal. At least it does me. You guys might have more money than I do. Anyway, guys, I'm trying to stop the shows at trying to keep them at a maximum of about an hour and a half. We're an hour and 40 minutes in. Next week, hopefully I'll have the Redneck Side Motorcycle Whip segment to put in. Then I will find something awesome to go over. We're going to try to steer out of quite so much politics, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting tired of talking about it. It is important. It's something that's important to America anyway, but I'm about burnout when I'm talking about politics. So hopefully we don't end up in World War III before Trump can get in office. I know it's pretty scary, and I really don't think we will. Some people are saying we kind of already are, and in a way we kind of are, but until we're fully dedicated, it's out in the open as World War III, and we're starting to ship troops in to die. It's not World War III yet, and I do believe there's hope in calming things down, especially when Trump gets into office. At any rate, like I was saying, we're going to try to steer away from politics a little bit and get into some other things. And I will find something cool. We'll have the Redneck Side segment. Hopefully everything goes right next week. And we'll give it to... I'll edit the segment into a nice little commercial for you and see if maybe Mike will want to run it or not. It's up to Mike, but I'll send it to Mike. And we'll see what we can do for you there at Redneck Side, because we love you and you're fantastic people. All right, guys. I love you. God bless all of you. Thank you so much for coming to the show. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy our chit chats, and I'll see you on Mike's show Monday if he doesn't get drunk tonight or something and not have one like he did last week. I had to get a hold of him going, Mike, what are you doing? You're not having a show today? He goes, I'm hungover and got drunk last night. All right, guys. I gotta shut myself up. I'm long-winded. I keep going. I love you guys. I will see you next week. Much love, honor, and respect. And be good or be good at it, right? All right. See you next week.
Hittin it with HardWire. We're burning it bright. Living on the edge, we'll ride through the night. No fear in our hearts, just the roar of the steel. Together we rise, now this life feels real. twisted black line, a YouTube dream where his past can't confine. With every rev he's reclaiming his soul, teaching the world how to ride, how to roll. Rising up high when the shadows surround.